Would you mind not filming that? Invasion of privacy for him.
In case the guy doesn't survive or something, his family shouldn't have to see this, okay? Have a little bit of decency for the guy, okay?
Don't touch me.
Please.
Don't touch me.
I asked you please
Don't
not
touch
to film
me.
that.
I don't care what you
This
asked.
is privacy.
That's real respectful for a public servant.
Yep, there was appropriate disciplinary action based on our lawyer's recommendation, and as of right now, he's no longer affiliated with the fire department.
Listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they ain't got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrassing me no more. I'll take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. But you're going to embarrass me like this? No, so now I'm going to cut his hair.
Oh, I gotta ask you,
with bald head.
Hey, do me a favor. Wait for the SWAT guys. Now I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification. You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told him, don't embarrass me. No.
There you go. You need nothing. Would you mind not filming that? Invasion of privacy for him. Please. You all right, buddy?
In case the guy doesn't survive or something, his family shouldn't have to see this, okay? Have a little bit of decency for the guy, okay?
Hold up right there, Erie County Fam. I don't know why this police officer thinks he can blame shift to me or you exercising your rights. It's not like people started recording the police because we have nothing better to do. I mean, let's be honest. The reason we started recording the police is because of police misconduct. So officers out there, if you're listening and you don't like us filming on the scene, you guys caused this. First Amendment auditors were started because of you guys. We didn't just decide one day we're going to go get people's personal information. And Lancaster PD, maybe you didn't kneel on nobody's neck and kill them, but why did you put these unconstitutional signs in our lobby? Acting like you own this castle. And on top of it, why did it take you 9 months to take them down? Did you not think the people were serious about taking our rights serious? You hung the sign right below the police's mission statement where you guaranteed you were going to protect the rights, and then you hung a sign against the rights. What took you guys 9 months to take them down? Ego? Chief, do you have anything to say about that sign?
Not currently, no.
You approve of the sign?
Yes, I do. That's why it's hanging there.
So, officers, next time you see the Erie County Fam out there video recording on the scene, I don't want to hear you blame shifting as if we caused this problem. The way I see it, if you guys would have shown a little respect and had a little decency and governed your own, the blue line wouldn't be in such bad shape. Which, Erie County Fam, brings us to our very point of the story today, the red line versus the blue line, and let's talk integrity. Now, we always know this blue line flag as a gang flag, and when we try to bring it up to the police in their conduct that prevails from this blue line flag, you know the first thing they always say.
I know you're trying to twist what the thin blue line means. I don't believe in that.
The United States Constitution gives citizens certain rights, and sometimes the blue line gang, as some people refer to that blue line flag as a gang symbol, the largest gang in the world. But
Fire department has their flags on their fire trucks.
But have you ever heard anybody upset about a fireman? Now, Erie County Fam, we all have seen what happens when a police officer gets out of line. It seems like we can't get away from the headlines of police officers doing misconduct or stupid things, and they tend to investigate themselves and find no wrongdoing. And their integrity is shot. That's why people do not respect the blue line flag. Now, let's go ahead and look at some misconduct from a fireman and find out how a fireman handles misconduct and what they think about their image. Let's go ahead and take a look at the conduct and then see how the firemen deal with investigating themselves and how they deal with someone tarnishing their image. I'm in public. Don't touch me.
Please.
Don't touch me.
I asked you please
Don't
not
touch
to film
me.
that.
I don't care what you
This
asked.
is privacy.
There's no privacy in public. Don't.
It's alright, let's.
That's real. That's real respectful for a public servant. That's a real respectful middle finger for the public servant.
You are the public servant.
That's our boy Reed here. He's got the middle finger for us. Man. After that incident, Erie County Fam, in the original video, I did visit a few different fire departments who had an open house statewide recruitment event, and I did get to see some pretty cool things. You can check out that video if you want to see it all. But eventually I did make my way to the Twin District Fire Department to talk to the fire chief there about the conduct of that Pacific fireman. Let's check out what the chief had to say. This gentleman over here on a call the other day in his uniform jumped out of his car and he gave me the middle finger.
And he addressed that with them after that call.
Alright. That's cool. That is my only concern, really.
I addressed that immediately after the call.
I find that, firemen are a lot more respectful than, reach a lot more respect than a lot of police officers do, because they don't got that kind of attitude or that kind of chip on their shoulder. But I thought it was kind of inappropriate, and come down here for the recruitment event. I figured I'd come down here and address that. And as long as you address it, that's cool.
Yep, I was at the call and I addressed it immediately after it happened at the station.
Because I thought it's just inappropriate to do in a uniform marked, and but other than that, no, I don't have any questions. Got their red line flag hanging. So, Erie County Fam, that video aired originally on April 27th of this year, and the video itself took about 40,000 views, and a lot of people seen it. Some redressed their grievances to the government about it, and the firemen did do an investigation on themselves, and they did find wrongdoing, and they did not care for the image that this man portrayed upon the fire department, and they did dismiss him from working as a fireman. Now, I was on a bike ride and I heard about this, and I was cruising on by and I happened to see them out working on the trucks and doing their thing, so I did stop and talk to the fire chief and the president of the fire department. This next clip is the conversation I had with the two of them.
How are you?
Pretty good. You got a second?
I got a second. Long time no see. Nice bike.
Thanks. Hope you don't have to peel none of them off the streets. But I had a question about, I want to say his name was Reed.
Yep, there was appropriate disciplinary action based on our lawyer's recommendation. And as of right now, he's no longer affiliated with the fire department.
All right.
That's all I can say on it.
That's all you can say. I guess I'm not coming here to put him on the spot or anything. It's kind of more like is that the final decision?
What do you mean?
I mean, is there any way you can get him back? I mean, if he made a public apology or something like that, or if I give him the opportunity to make a public apology on the same avenue that he did it. I mean, I don't know. Is the fire department in a better place without Reed, or was he a good, person to have at the fire? I'm not here to. I was never here to get rid of Reed. I was never here to, put someone like that on the spot. I mean, some people make mistakes. They do dumb things at certain times, but
it was a high stress environment. Yes, he has the opportunity to come back. He does, and there were some stipulations on his punishment with recommendations from our attorney that we took into consideration. So he does have the opportunity to come back.
All right. There's more to it. Like, for instance, my girlfriend works at a bar. Mm-hmm. Guys from other fire departments are literally going in there and be like, your man's a piece of crap.
Oh, we're well aware. We received on Facebook are probably about 100 plus messages. Received almost 200 phone calls, emails, about 100 or so of those as well. Most of them were from out of state. Very, very few were from local areas.
No. I'm not saying
I know.
I'm not saying people. I'm saying other firemen are saying my girlfriend should rot in hell.
Your girlfriend shot hell?
Because she's my girlfriend, and these are other firemen in local areas. Specifically, I believe it's the fire department. And I'm
Can't
not saying it
count.
has anything to do with you. I'm not talking about the people who redress their grievances to your Facebooks and that. I'm talking about, you know, I guess my main question, I'm not down here to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
My question really was, you know, is what I heard true, which you just, you know, said that he was released from the fire department. And I understand you guys are volunteers, but you know, I was never here to get rid of Reed, and I'm not after firemen, all right? I mean, just seeing that, you know, he was suspended in a way just goes to show that firemen have more integrity than, you know, maybe even a policeman. Like a policeman, we see that blue line flag as a gang flag sometimes. And they all the time they say, when we say, hey, why you guys got that gang flag on the police cars? They're like, well, the firemen got a red line flag. I'm like, well, you know what? Firemen generally have integrity, you know, and like just seeing that Reed got, you know, discipline just goes to show that there is integrity. A lot of times when you see like policemen in that same situation, they investigate themselves, they find no wrongdoings, and then nothing happens. But I guess my point is, I'm not personally impressed. I'm not like happy with that decision that he's not with the fire department. And I was just, you know, driving by. I seen you out here. I thought I'd stop by and, you know, give an opportunity for him. Maybe even a public apology to the public to see, you know, the same people who've seen it. Maybe they want to see an apology. I'll offer that as a way for him, if that's part of the stipulation, that he can come back. Because what my real question is Twin Village or Twin District or Lancaster safer now that he's gone, or are they less safer? You know what I mean? Was he a valuable? Was he a valuable fireman?
Top responder.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was in our top 80%.
I seen that he would drive, you know, the trucks that say Lancaster on, and I'm sure not all the firemen here jump in that same truck, and you know, I'm sure he was an elder here, but like, I guess that's my question. You know, I was a little bit concerned because it wasn't my intention to see him get dismissed as a fireman. I'd like to see that, you know, if he was a valuable part of it, he can come back.
He was a valuable member of the fire department. He made a lot of calls. He does have the opportunity to come back.
But, you know, by all means, you know, easy to get a hold of. I could leave you a phone number even if you guys want to do a sit down or even a public apology where he can.
That's going to be
you
up
know,
to our board directors. Fortunately, I don't have the ability to make that decision. I am my own self as the chief. My job is dealing with the fire trucks and dealing with the call response. I deal with the public to an extent, but when it gets to more, I don't know, more public stuff like the press conferences and all that stuff, that myself and the board directors and the president are all we all meet on the same page, which we're on the same idea, same agenda, so that we're not, you know, one person says one thing, which says another thing.
All right, well, I guess put that by them, you know what I mean? Like, and it is a concern to me because, you know, just like I don't hate policemen, I certainly don't hate firemen, right? My objective in auditing Erie County is to exercise my constitutional rights. And, you know, sometimes that's video recording in public, but, you know, like, I'm certainly not after firemen. Like, I hear, you know, Mill Grove through the grapevine, they're afraid I'm going to go over there and start video recording them, and they got like a youth group, and they're telling the youth group as part of the firemen, if you see him coming, just come inside and don't talk to him. It's like, I'm not going to start auditing fire departments. I'm really not. I'm really not. You know what I mean? Like, but I do want to offer that opportunity. You know, the same avenue that, you know, got him into the mess that he's in or the heat that he's in. Offer the opportunity to have a sit down or even just a 5-minute, 2-minute apology, or, you know, if you think that would help, or if you think that would be beneficiary, you can put it by the board.
Put it by the board directors.
So is that how the fire departments, all fire departments work? Like there's a chief and a board?
Every department's a little bit different. With us at Twin District, we are a fire protection district. So the board directors, and we have a president and a chief.
How you doing?
Ron Roser. I'm the president of the fire company. How are you?
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I was just down here talking to the chief. I don't know how fire departments work, but I heard through the grapevine that Reed got, you know, disciplined. He wasn't part of the police department or fire department, and I thought I'd come down here and you know, voice my concern about that in itself.
Well, you know, like, you know, any employee, you know, we can't talk about personnel matters, or, you know, those are kept confidential.
No, I'm just saying that I heard through the grapevine that he was, you know, he's not part of the fire department anymore.
Okay.
Now, I'm not asking specifics or nothing like that. Actually, I was just down here talking to the chief here, saying more along the lines that I'm not happy with that result. Because I was never here for that. I never wanted to see the guy, have to go through disciplinary actions. So, I was offering, the same way that he got into that mess, the same avenue, the same channel.
Right.
If he wants to make a public apology, if that would help the fire department, if that would help him become a fireman here, because my real concern is Twin District safer without him, or are they less safer? Are the Lancaster people unsafe without him? He was probably a top first responder because, I see him driving this truck, or so that's all I'm here for. I'm not really here to get the specifics or.
Right. No, I mean I understand what you're saying, but like I said, you gotta, we have to, not honor, but we have to protect ourselves too. And like I said, anything that deals with a personnel matter, it's confidential. We're just not able to talk about. As far as what he would want to do, that's completely up to him.
But if you're part of the board, he was talking to, just want you guys to know that avenue's there.
I appreciate it.
And I'd be more than happy to put that out in front of the public, because I never had the intentions of, causing you guys to be down a fireman. Public safety is a big concern, and I'm only out there to exercise constitutional rights. Never. I mean, I'm not going to start auditing fire departments. I have no reason to. Even seeing or hearing that he was disciplined in a way that, just shows that the firemen have integrity.
I'm sorry to defer now.
The firemen have more integrity than most, because like a police officer did something like that, police departments in general would just investigate themselves, find no wrongdoings, and nothing would be done. Or they might get a slap on the wrist, but to me it sounded like Reed got more than a slap on the wrist.
Well, our thing is we investigate. I mean, we didn't take it lightly. Obviously, we took the incident very seriously. We looked into it. We watched the video several times. The board of directors had a hearing. He got to speak, on behalf of himself. The fire company was presented with the facts, and then the fire company acted on how they acted. We consulted our attorney, and then like our attorney said, whatever recommendation the board of directors gives to the company, 90% of the time the fire company gets it right. So, that's kind of where we stand right now. Does he have an opportunity to come back in the future? Yes. But besides that, I don't really know how much more we can talk about as far as a specific individual.
Yeah, I'm not really looking for specifics. It's more or less, the way I seen it is literally this, I'm not happy with that result. That wasn't my intentions. I wish that we could take it all back and you guys could have another fireman on the team,
We spend, and I don't know if the chief has told you, but we spend thousands of dollars and thousands of man hours to, we determine, to brand ourselves, to brand Twin. Okay. And then in a very short video clip, that can be shot to hell, in 10 seconds. So that's what's not acceptable to us. So if nothing else, if it caused us to open our eyes and say, we need to train our members better in situations like this. That's one thing that that we're looking at now is training for our members. And everybody knows, most of our members know, you don't talk to the public on a scene. That's the job of the fire chief or the assistant chiefs, or if it's down here, myself or the board of directors. That's who communicates with the public. That's who communicates with the press, anything like that. So it was a bad decision on his part. I think he realizes that. And like I said, now we're going to make sure we train all of our other members on it.
That's good to hear. But, like I said, if you guys are interested in anything like that, or sit down, or, even if he's beyond the fire department, wants to, apologize to the public. I mean, I'm sure he's sorry. Yeah. But, the same amount of people that's seen that video might like to hear him say sorry. If that would help him to make this place look better and get back on the team. And, I'm kind of disappointed in the whole decision myself. It's not what I wanted to hear. And I was telling the chief, even my girlfriend, she works over at a bar as a bartender, and one fireman come in there and told her she should rot in hell because of what I did. And it's just like, you know, like, and I know that has nothing to do with you guys, but like that's how I hear about it.
But you need to understand too the phone calls that we got from people who follow your channel, or people who follow other people's channel who follows you, the threats, and you know, the phone calls that we got, the screaming, swearing, yelling at us, you know, in regards to him. He took those calls, I took those calls, you know, I mean, we're talking hundreds of threatening phone calls.
And they were
I don't even think I listed you guys' phone number.
So
no, it doesn't matter. You just Google Twin District Fire Company.
I mean, when public officials like police departments, they do it, I list their numbers.
Right.
Do exercise their First Amendment right to redress their grievances to their government. But the fact that you came out and you said that was being addressed, I didn't want that to really go down that avenue, because I'm not out here to fry firemen. I really not. And it was unfortunate what happened that day. I don't go to first aid calls. I'm not there to video record firemen. I'm not there to video record first aid stuff. But like, we see police officers in the news all the time doing dumb stuff. And I'm not saying Lancaster specifically does it, but this is my territory, and I video record police interactions. If the police weren't there that day, I wouldn't have been there that day. Right. So I mean, like, you can let the firemen in here even know that I'm not here to video record them. You know, like, I'm not here to video record the guy in the first aid call. No, but we just the police action.
We need to train our members that it is okay for you or anybody else, you know, as long as they're not interfering with our scene or interfering with our patient care or whatever, that it is okay, you know, for that to happen. And it shouldn't be something that we concern ourselves with. We have a job to do when we go on these calls. Do our job. You know, and like I said, I mean, you've seen it. You know, how many views on that video?
Last I saw it was like 68,000 views.
Right.
And to be honest, I put a clip of George Floyd in there, which made the thing age restricted, and ad revenue stopped it. So the video probably would have seen a lot more people had I not put that in there. But like, it's got a little bit of a stop to it. But yeah, I mean, sometimes some people do some dumb things, and before you know it, 500,000 people could be seeing it like that.
Right, and that's what I said. Thousands and thousands of man hours, thousands of dollars to brand ourselves for recruitment, retention, public relations, and that, you know, basically was shot to hell in 10 seconds. So,
well, I appreciate the training and that, and you know, that's why bringing to the awareness of the areas our constitutional
we
rights.
That wasn't the, you know, we would have rather that wasn't what brought the awareness out. But,
well, yeah,
it is
of course.
what it is, and you know, we have to address it. And I think, you know, we're doing a good job of, you know, in addressing it. You know, and like I said, I have no problems talking to you. I talk to the media hundreds of times. So, you know, I have no problem talking to you. If you were to show up at a scene, I would have no problem with the chief either to walk over and explain to you what's going on. You know, this is what you're seeing. You know, and one of the things that got one of the comments out of the, you know, thousands and thousands of comments was, you know, this video could have been of the fireman saving a life, but instead it turned into that.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's
at the end of the day, that's what all the first responders are really there for.
You know,
I mean,
so that's what was unacceptable to us. So we had to take some type of action, and you know, we'll move on from that.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
No problem.
My offer is out there. You guys want to get a hold of me? You want to take my number even? Okay. I'll shoot you my number, my cell number, if you like it.
Go ahead. 716. Okay.
And that offer stands. I mean, if you guys want to, any PR even, like to talk about it, or if he wants to make a public apology, put it for the same people that seen it the first time to help fix that image. But I will say, you know, seeing the integrity of you guys taking action, and not like some police departments, they investigate themselves and always seem to find no wrongdoing, even when it's plain as view on a video. But you know, it just goes to show integrity. And like I was saying to him, you know, a lot of times police watchers complain about the police putting a blue line flag on the cop cars, and one of the first things they always say, well, the firemen have a red line flag.
You know, like fire department has their flags on their fire trucks.
But have you ever heard anybody upset about a fireman? It's like, well, you know what? This is a proof that firemen have more integrity than policemen.
I know you're trying to twist what the thin blue line means. I don't believe in that.
No. So, thank you very much. I don't want to take up more of your time.
Anytime,
and you guys have a good one.
Okay, it was good talking to you. Take care.
Anytime. Got it.
Listen, y'all, these kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they ain't got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrassing no more. I take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. The people that might get mad with this video is the people that probably already embarrassed their child. You can discipline your child in their room. Take something away from them. If they act up, well, I'm like, son, you can't play the game. We living in a society now where people want to record how they discipline their child. The people that might get mad with this video is the people that probably already embarrassed their child. You can discipline your child in their room. Take something away from them. If they act up, well, I'm like, son, you can't play the game.
You pull the Constitution out of your pockets on here. Like that was supposed to prove something.
First Amendment, freedom of the press.
We have every right to film out here, in there.
Your name is not Dan, Erie County.
This isn't Erie County.
Yeah.
Sure it is. I'm here as Dan, Erie County.
Legitimate? Maybe. Official? No.